We want to go over John's Electronics store, and we're given some information, and we're asked a couple of questions about it. So they tell us that they're at a break even is 120 units. They don't say which units, just 120 total products, and we have 3 different products. And then they give us the fixed cost. So let's go on down here and look at the information that they gave you. So I've totaled up the fixed cost here, and then they want to know what the sales mix is, and they're a little cagey. They tell you that the tablet is 25% and that they sell 1.5 as many accessories as phones. So that remaining 75% is broken out between those as, sort of 1x. And then this is 1.5x. And so 1x plus 1.5x is 75%. And so we can do the algebra on that. So that means that phones 30%. So then this is 1.5 of 30%. And then of course, if you better be at 100% when you add them all up, or you got some sort of math thing going on. So then they want to know, of the 120 units break even, how many of those are phones? Okay, so then we would just multiply times the sales mix percent. And then they want to achieve a target profit. And the numerator is the same old, which is the fixed cost plus the target before tax target, which is operating income is before tax, and net income is after tax. So they give you a before tax profit. Okay, so the numerator is the same as it would be, but then the denominator is like, well, which contribution margin do I use? I've got the contribution margin for each individually, sales minus variable cost, but which one would I use? We have to create a weighted average contribution margin per unit. And so we would take the contribution margin for that product and weight it by the sales mix. And then add that up, and that would give us the overall average contribution margin given that sales mix. We wouldn't take these 3 and divide it by 3, add them together and divide by 3. That would be a simple average, not a weighted average. And it would be ignoring the sales mix. It would be treating them as if they sold an equal proportion each. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. If that's true, you could do it. But here, it's not 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. It's 30, 25, 45. So this is the weighted contribution margin. And notice that you would expect that to be somewhere between 88 and 430. If you get a weighted average contribution margin of $32 or 739, you know you got a math thing going on. It's going to be in the middle here somewhere. It's not going to be perfectly in the middle because the weighting is not 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Okay, so we're going to use that as the average contribution margin per unit. And so that will give us how many average units we're going to sell. And now we need to split that 140 out using that sales mix percent. So we take that, this is 140 total units, but how many of each? We're using the sales mix percent. Okay, let me know if you have any questions.